All right, welcome on in everyone to this episode of First CSP, the channel dedicated to bring you the first council shoulder patch issued from each council in Scouting America, both past and present. Today we're going to take a look at Longhorn Council. Longhorn Council started off in 1949 as Longhorn 582. It was a name change from Fort Worth Area 582, and then in 2000 merged with Heart O Texas 662 and became Longhorn 662. This is the third such council where it merged or absorbed another council and then was issued a new council number. The first that we took a look at on the channel was episode 22 with Grand Canyon Council, and then the same happened in episode 41 when we looked at Baden-Powell Council. When the council is issued a new number, for our collection purposes, we have chosen to accept that as its own council and then collect the first patch issue there as the first issue. So we do have that for both Longhorn 582 and 662 to bring you on the channel today. So let's start off with 582 over on the patch table. Here we have the T1 defined by its red border, yellow background, and green letters. Nice imagery of Texas Longhorns over the flag of Texas. Really nice clean patch. I do believe that the first few CSPs issued from Longhorn 582 had multiple production runs because they do list a range of colors or a range of various shades of yellow for the background are available in these patches. So you can find some that are probably more gold. This one trends towards more gold, and some that are towards more yellow. Taking a look at the back, ours happens to be a smooth plastic back for the T1. And then we happen to also have the T2 issues with the Type 1 and Type 2 fleur-de-lis. At one point, the T2s were separated into 5 different variations, A through E. 3 of those were Type 1 fleur-de-lis, whether they were calling it bronze, light bronze, or gold for the BSA and fleur-de-lis. And then the same thing with D and E were Type 2 fleur-de-lis. We just have one of each, and the newest collection guide does just list a T2A as being any of those variations that had the Type 1 fleur-de-lis, like we see here, and then T2B is now anything that has a Type 2 fleur-de-lis. So here we have a Type 1 vertically sewn fleur-de-lis in bronze, and BSA was also added. So basically taking the same graphic for the T1 and now just adding the fleur-de-lis and BSA. So this would now be a T2A. This happens to be a gauze plastic back. I do, as I've said, believe that there were multiple variations or multiple production runs, I should say, of this patch, and so they do have slightly different background colors as is listed in the collecting guide. Move that up, and for comparison, here is an example of a T2B, now with the Type 2 fleur-de-lis. You can see this background here tends to be a little more yellow. This trends more towards gold. They're all listed as yellow, but that would be the first 3 issues then from Longhorn 582, the T1, T2A, and T2B. Again, because these are the same imagery as the T1, we like to bring those to you here on the channel whenever we have them. Then, as we said, in 2000, it merged with Heart of Texas and became Longhorn 662. The first issue for Longhorn 662 was the Catholic Committee on Scouting Jubilee. This is listed as the SA30, noting a purple mylar border, white background, Jubilee 2000, Catholic Commitment on Scouting, Christ Yesterday, Today, Forever. It is a very large patch, and so the SA30 is noted as the first issue for 662 because it is SA30 or a special issue, activity issue. We then also try and collect the first regular. So the first regular that was issued after the change to Longhorn 662 was going to be the S35. S35 is noted with its royal blue border, red background, gold BSA and fleur-de-lis, and then having the WR brand as well as the SR2 brand. They do have a number of regular issues that the Longhorn Council produced with this same iconic Texas Longhorn bull on it, with the difference being the brands, actually. So if you look at one of the last regular issues out of the Longhorn 582, that's the S27, where you would have the SR2 WR as well as the LSR brands. And then the one that came after that, the S37, has the SR2 WR and CT brands. You will see lots of S37s for sale. They seem to have made a ton of those. S35s can sometimes be harder to track down. For whatever reason, it wasn't particularly limited. But if we're looking at the first issues, let's see if we can kind of get them on the same screen. We've got the first issue. Not really. My shot's a little tight to try and get good detail on the patches. But those are the first issues from Longhorn 582 and Longhorn 662. I'll make sure to get a nice open shot that I can put on the screenshot for the title for the video. But with that, hope you guys have enjoyed seeing Longhorn Council today. We'll have a new episode out here for you tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Till then, we'll see you on the next one.